producing.
Hello everyone, I'm Joe Alden. I'm a 5th year student in the BMMAT program. So, who am I? Well, I am a Westminster student, obviously. I am a singer, I'm a tenor, and I would encourage everyone to come to my recital, which is on the 30th of October. A little self-promotion there. I am determined. If people say I am philosophically minded, and I would agree with the most of those people. I enjoy a challenge, and you know, I like to figure things out. I like puzzles and games and things like that. So I view a lot of my school as just another challenge, another thing to figure out. So I like that. But to go to concerts, music major stuff. So yeah, I mean, when I have free time, I like to ride my bike and sleep on occasion, stuff like that. So, all right. So I got other sections here about myself as a scholar, as a musician, and as a teacher. All right. So as a teacher, I like to teach middle school actually. And I did my student teaching at a middle school, and there are two reasons I really like teaching middle school students. I find that middle school students still have an innate love of learning that I find a lot of elementary school students have, but being older and having been in school longer, they can take on more complex challenges. So I really enjoy that balance, and it really works for me as a teacher. And I also find middle school students, I empathize with them. I have memories of how dismal my own middle school experience was. So on some level I can understand and actually find entertaining at times those things which frustrate many teachers about middle school students. So one of the ways that I like teaching is I like trying to incorporate as much student-generated and student-suggested material into my lessons as I can. So, for example, having students compose sight-singing examples for each other in concert with teaching basic reading and music writing skills, so just getting composition and improvisation right in there from the beginning. And why I like to teach, two big reasons, is I'm constantly astounded by the creativity of children and the uniqueness each individual brings to my classroom, and those things make teaching constantly challenging, which I appreciate. I couldn't do something if it wasn't at least a little bit challenging, and it just makes it wonderful, to when your students come up with something you never would have even considered, and it allows me to grow as a person, and I hope it allows my students to grow as well. One of my main scholarly interests is in the realm of musical creativity. So I always strive to bring out the maximum creative potential in the students in my classroom, so that's one of the areas I like to study, musical creativity. I'm always looking for ways also to broaden and expand my personal philosophy of music education, so I search out philosophy texts for that. And a third major scholarly interest of mine, a recently acquired one, is in world music. Last semester I had the opportunity to study a number of East Asian musical cultures in depth, and that was a changing experience for me, and allowed me to re-examine definitions of musical performance and the role of the individual within an ensemble, and the difference between, or the perceived difference, especially in Western music, between composition and improvisation. So I look forward to incorporating some of those ideas into my teaching in the future. So as with many students at Westminster, I have a significant interest in classical music. I like choral music a lot, which I guess is a good thing if you go to this school. For me, it's actually harder to find a music that I don't like than a music that than to find the music that I do. It's pretty easy to find stuff that I like, and I like different things for different reasons. One thing I'm particularly interested in, especially from a historical perspective, is 20th century classical music. I think there's some really interesting things to be found there, so I like reading up and studying that kind of stuff. In terms of more recent stuff, I actually really like electronica, as it's come to be called, which encompasses things like techno, trance, drum and bass, house, jungle, stuff like that. So that's what I listen to when I'm at the gym and in my free time. So